Hi everyone, my name is Ava Grace, and today I'm going to talk about how the sports media landscape has changed dramatically over the past 2 decades and why even major companies struggle to adapt. But specifically, I'll focus on the planned Venue Sports streaming service, which was canceled in January 2025 as a case study of the challenges of digital sports media. So, now that we've set the stage, let's connect this topic to Chapter 3 of our textbook and see how the ideas there help us understand this shift in sports media. So, this topic connects directly to Chapter 3 of our textbook, which discusses how sports media has evolved from traditional television and print to a world dominated by digital platforms. So the chapter explains that media convergence combining old and new forms can create both opportunities and challenges. It also highlights how fragmented audiences now demand faster, more personalized content, which ultimately sets the stage for understanding why venue sports face difficulties. So, based on these concepts, I wanted to focus on one main argument or thesis for this presentation. My central argument is that the explosion of digital sports media has disrupted traditional models. So, fans now expect real time updates and flexible streaming options, which challenges even the biggest media companies. The cancellation of venue sports is a clear example of this, showing that traditional power doesn't guarantee success in the digital first era. So let's start by looking at how fan behavior has changed in this digital first era. As you can see, fan behavior has changed dramatically. People no longer wait for newspaper recaps or scheduled TV broadcasts. They want updates instantly through apps, social media, and streaming platforms. They prefer personalized feeds, notifications, and mobile friendly content that they can access anytime. This behavior sets high expectations for any sports media service trying to compete today. So, next, we can see how these changes put pressure on traditional sports media outlets like TV networks and newspapers. Traditional media is under pressure. Cable subscriptions are declining as viewers cut the cord. Newspapers are ultimately losing relevance, and TV networks face skyrocketing costs for sports rights. Audiences are fragmented across streaming apps, social media, and niche platforms. This creates a complex environment where old methods of broadcasting and reporting no longer meet audience expectations. So, to illustrate these points, let's examine a real world case, the Venue Sports streaming service. So, it was a planned joint streaming service from ESPN, Fox, and Warner Bros. Discovery intended to be a one-stop shop for sports fans. However, it was canceled in January 2025 due to disagreements on strategy, rights conflicts, and concerns over profitability. So ultimately, this case shows that even massive companies with vast resources can struggle to navigate the complexities of digital sports media. From this example, we can draw some important implications from sports media going forward. The failure of venue sports highlights key implications for the sports media industry. Fans now control how they consume content, which forces companies to innovate rapidly. Not all attempts to modernize will succeed, even with significant resources. This case reinforces Chapter 3's message that convergence is challenging and requires speed, adaptability, and audience awareness. So, in conclusion, the sports media landscape is evolving faster than ever, and companies must adopt digital first strategies to survive. The canceled venue sports venture shows that even major media companies can struggle if they don't fully understand audience behaviors and the demands of fragmented instant access environment. Fans now have more control than ever how they watch, follow, and interact with sports content, which means traditional models alone are no longer enough to guarantee success. Chapter 3 teaches us that convergence of media platforms combining TV, digital, social, and user-generated media is both an opportunity and a challenge. Companies that innovate, adapt quickly, and prioritize fan engagement are most likely to thrive, while those that fail to recognize these shifts risking falling behind. In short, the future of sports media is dynamic, digital, and fan-driven. Thank you so much for listening, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this, and thank you so much.